mix. Man, I just keep giving you the legends in this hip hop game, this urban game, all the way from Philadelphia. That's where he's originally from. Man, this is a brother that's been around for a minute. You know what I mean? A legendary rapper, a lot of artists. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for my man right here, you wouldn't have a lot of these artists. We got my man Freeway, legendary artist.
What's up?
What's going on, my brother?
Ain't nothing, man. Just grinding. You know, we out here.
We out here, huh? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Now, Freeway, you know, it's a pleasure to have you on. Now, I always want to ask you this. What made you want to adopt the name Freeway from the infamous drug dealer, Freeway Ricky Ross?
Because I used to be on the freeway a lot back in my past, you know, back in the day, over 20 years ago, you know, so it's natural fit. And shout out to Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. That's my man. That's my OG. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So it's definitely all love.
All right. So when you began your career, okay, you were joining freestyle battles in your high school, and then you met a native Philadelphia rapper, Benny Siegel. Now, how did that work out? Like, what was your first, you know, impression when you saw Benny Siegel?
I met Beans in the club. He was on stage battling some people, and he pulled me up, and I wound up battling with him, and then we built a rapport from there. You know, chemistry.
Okay. You got to have that chemistry. Without that chemistry, man, it's not going to work out, you know?
Yeah.
So how was it back then in the nightclubs in Philadelphia? And how was your life in Philadelphia?
I mean, it was dope, man. Philly is a grind city, man. So, you know, it's dope, you know. Music is one of the things I wanted to do since I was little. So, you know, it's definitely a blessing to get on and to represent for my city.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, tell us when Benny Siegel, all right, when he got his deal with Rockefeller Records, okay, and he got you on, you know, the Dynasty, Rockefeller Family, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the track was called 1-900 Hustler, okay? Featuring Benny Siegel, Jay-Z, Memphis Bleek. Big ups to Jay-Z, big ups to Memphis Bleek, everybody over at Roc Nation. Man, how was that, okay? Because, you know, your boy gets a record deal, and all of a sudden you're asked to jump on one of the most historical tracks, 1-900 Hustler. Like, how did that occur? And
it was dope, man. Just I was earlier that year. I was like on house arrest and going through a bunch of stuff. And you know, once I linked with Beans, and you know, it was going back and forth up to New York to record. And you know, I got on the Dynasty album, and the rest is history, man. The rest is legendary.
Of course. So right after that appearance, Jay-Z signed you to a deal, okay? Like you were in a meeting, I guess. Jay-Z called you up to Def Jam Records, and when he told you that, my man, I want to give you a record deal, how did that feel to have Jay-Z tell you that and you sitting in that office?
I mean, it was amazing. You know, it's something that I wanted to do my whole life, so it's definitely a blessing, man. Definitely amazing.
Amazing, yeah. So what are your experiences with Jay-Z? And I don't want to get personal. I don't want to talk about Jay-Z, okay? But he, you know, that time of your life played a big role to who you are today. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely, it was always
like, how was it? No, 1 second. How was it on tour with Jay-Z, with Benny Siegel?
It was dope. It was dope, man. Some of the best times of my life, you know. Being around Jay, you always can learn something. Always pick up a little lesson from Jay. You know what I'm saying? And I applied it to what I got going on now. You know, and it's good.
Now, what I find, Philly's got some serious spitters, okay? Serious spitters. You know, you got Cassidy, you got my man Benny Siegel, you got, you know, Memphis Bleek, you know, you even got Fresh Prince, okay? The list goes on, right? Vinny Paz. Now, what separates you from everybody down in Philly?
It's proven. I got my own flow. I bring my own view of the world to my music, you know. I'm a reality rapper. I talk about things. I've seen things that I go through, and you know, it comes out dope, and people love it.
Now, you went against Cassidy now, okay? Big ups to Cassidy. I've had Cassidy on my show, and we've seen what's going on with Cassidy nowadays. Now,
shout out to Cassidy doing his thing.
So you had this notorious freestyle battle, all right? You want to tell us about that? That happened, I think it was 2001, or maybe a little after.
Just a battle. The same night that we did the Hot 97 thing. right after that, we went back to the studio. Then I went over and battled Cassidy.
Okay. So when you battled Cassidy, who won that battle?
Bro, like you already know the story, dog. Like, you know,
Tell us the story. Tell
he got
us the
over a little
story.
bit on the battle. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got over a little bit. Like I just said, I was on Hot 97 rapping for 2 hours straight before that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him though. He doing his thing in the battle world. That's what's up. But if you want to talk about the great music, the great albums and stuff that I put out and all that, you know, we could talk about that all day.
So how's your relationship with Swiss Beats? Are you still talking to Swiss Beats?
Swiss is my man. That's my brother. He Muslim. I haven't talked to him in a while, but last time I talked to him, it was all good.
Now, we lost DMX not too long ago, RIP. Now, have you done any work with DMX? Do you know DMX personally?
Yeah, I did a song with DMX before. It was dope.
And what was the track?
I forget the name of it, but you could look it up, Freeway and DMX. We went back to back on that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, my brother. You know what I mean? I listened to your heart when you were signed with Rockefeller Records and everything. So I'm all over the place with you. So, you know, let's just go down to you had this, you know, this single called Flipside featuring PD Crack. Okay, and it debuted at number 95 on the Billboard Hot 100 music charts. Okay, and it was also, you know, part of the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack. Now, you know, how did you link up with PD Crack, and how did this track form, and how did it get on the soundtrack to Bad Boys 2?
I knew PD Crack since we was little. We from the same neighborhood, you know. So, you know, he got signed to Rockefeller probably like a year or two after I was signed to Rockefeller, and we already was good working together. I did the song and I asked him to jump on it, and he did. And you know, the soundtrack picked it up. It was also on my album Philadelphia Freeway, my debut album, and you know, it's dope.
All right, let's hear that track right now. You know what I'm saying? By Freeway and PD Crack. Track is called Flipside right here on the Majic Show. Let's go. And we are back. Yo, my brother, thank you so much for making a track like that. Because back then, you know what I mean, it was, you know, things were starting to get all clubby, you know, tracks in the club, but you know, you're bringing bars on this. Now, how do you feel about today's hip hop with the lack of bars in the mainstream hip hop that you hear on the radio?
I mean, I feel like, you know, everything evolves. You know, I feel like, you know, what they're doing today is dope. You know, it's their version of hip hop and it's dope. Some of it is super dope. Some of it is not, you know.
Okay. So you got another banger. It's called What We Do, featuring Benny Siegel and Jay-Z. Now, that's like, I'll be honest with you, that's one of my favorite tracks by you. You know what I'm saying? So tell us, you know, where did you film the video for this? Was it on the New York Harbor?
Yeah, it definitely was. Yep.
Now, was it a cold winter day for that one? Because that looked straight like an East Coast, you know, video. You know what I mean? Like, you know, gray skies, Bubble Goose vest, Timmy's. You know what I mean? Seeing everybody, you know, in the street gear. You know what I mean? That was a really good track. Now, again, you know, you were signed to Rockefeller Records. You know, who put this track together and who produced it?
It's produced by Just Blaze, and it's like one of the tracks that was on my debut album, Philadelphia Freeway. You know, shout out to Just Blaze. He's responsible for a lot of dope music that I put out, especially on that album.
Yeah, and also I wanted to ask you this, right? Now, Philadelphia Freeway, when that came out, okay, how was the reception in your city for that? Like, because, you know, things are different when you can't even go to your local corner store or go to a mall because people are like, it's Freeway, and they mob you, right? So was it success? What are the good sides and the bad sides of, you know, being Freeway?
I mean, it's dope. Like, you know, it's something, like I said, it's something I wanted to do my whole life. So, you know, I appreciate all the love I get to this day, you know, when I go outside and when I move around in the world, you know. It's dope, man. It's a great feeling.
All right, so let's hear this track, What We Do, featuring Benny Siegel and Jay-Z by Freeway, right here on the Majic Show. Just giving you nothing but the best. Just giving you nothing but the best. Let's go. And we're back again. My man, do you want to come out here to Canada?
Yeah, I've been to Canada a couple of times. Canada is dope.
Yeah? You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me when you're on the Rockefeller Records tour or something? You came up here or what? How did that happen?
I've been to Canada several times. I toured the whole Canada from the east to the west coast.
Non-stop. So what's your favorite place here in Canada?
I love everywhere. I love Toronto. I performed in Whistler, Canada. It was like in the mountains at a snow resort. It was super dope. It was beautiful. It's on the west coast of Canada.
So what are your memorable moments here in Canada that you can remember?
That I just told you at the when I performed out there at the Whistler, Canada at the snow resort. It was beautiful. It was wintertime. They had like the evergreen trees and everything. It was dope. It was a great vibe, great experience. And I'm Muslim. There's a lot of Muslims in Canada, you know. So especially in Toronto, like, you know, I work with a company called the Canadian Dawah Association with some good brothers, some good Muslim brothers out there in Toronto. Shout out to them.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about that. How, you know, you changed your life, but you had a brief signing with Cash Money Records, okay? And then all of a sudden,
signed with Cash Money. It was on the table, but we never did it.
Exactly. I was just about to say that, right? And you never did it, and you went back over to Rockefeller Records. Now, why didn't you do that deal with Cash Money Records?
I mean, it just didn't work out. You know, sometimes things don't work out. You know, I still got a good relationship with everybody over there, but just the deal situation didn't work out.
Now, what about State Property? Okay, like, where did that go wrong in the group?
I mean, it didn't go wrong. Like, you know, Rockefeller broke up. A couple people in State Property had issues with each other, but everybody's straight right now. We all good, so it's all love.
All right, okay, you know what I'm saying? So you made your Hajj, right? You made your way to Mecca, the holy city of Mecca, you know what I mean? And big ups to all our, you know, Muslim listeners right now. Ottawa, Canada, where I'm located, the capital of Canada, half the city is Muslims, believe it or not, right?
I've been to Ottawa too.
Yeah. Yo, you've been to Ottawa too. You know what I'm saying, my brother, right? So we got a lot of listeners. Now, when you made your Hajj, okay?
I actually made Umrah twice.
Umrah, you made it twice?
Yes, yeah.
Now, what made you want to, you know, change your life, and what made you want to go to Islam?
I mean, Islam, I've been Muslim probably since I was like 12 or 13, and everything in Islam makes sense to me. Like, you know, everything makes sense. It's a beautiful religion. Like, you know, it's no blind following. You know, if I have a question or if I'm curious about something, I could definitely find an answer in the Quran or in the Sunnah, you know. And it's just beautiful, man. It makes sense. And I know that it's real, you know, there's no doubt in my mind. You know, so.
Okay. So I know this is off topic, right? I know at the time when you were at Rockefeller Records, I think Kanye West was signed the same time. Now, how was it working with Kanye in the studio?
It was dope. Kanye, my brother, man. He was on my first album too, so, and I was on his first album, College Dropout, so it's dope.
All right. Now, my brother, give off your social media. Now, Freeway is still around. Everybody that's tuned in, this is a real simple interview. We're going to get too depth because my man is busy. But just give off your social media so they can
follow me on Instagram is at Philly Freeway. On Facebook is Philadelphia Freeway. And on Twitter is Philly Freezer.
Say that again.
My Instagram is at Philly Freeway. My Facebook is Philadelphia Freeway. And my Twitter is at Philly Freezer.
Okay. Now, we have this one last track we're going to play. It's called More Freedom. Okay. This is more your recent track. I really, really enjoy this one. Okay.
I started a new company called Freedom Thinkers Academy. It's music, health, education, and culture. And this is one of the singles off of the Freedom Thinkers Academy project. It's called More Freedom, produced by Little Vic.
Perfect. Now, anything last you want to say to the people worldwide and people in Canada, specifically here in Ottawa, Canada, and you've been here.
Yeah, man, when y'all get a chance, check out my website for the new company. It's www.freedomthinkersacademy.com. It's music, health, education, and it's culture. Check it out, man. I'm sure y'all enjoy it.
My brother Freeway, thank you so much for coming on. I really love your style. Like, you probably got a whole bunch of interviews to do. I love how you're banging this one out. Now, again, you know, thank you so much. Okay, now one last thing. Now, what's in store for Freeway for 2021 and going into 2022?
Freedom Thinkers Academy, music, health, education, culture, and more great music to look forward to. So just follow me on my social medias and check the website out, www.freedomthinkersacademy.com.
All right, perfect, my brother. Well, thank you so much for joining me here on the Majic Show. Here's your track by Freeway, More Freedom, right here on the Majic Show. Let's go.
Love.